And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you may be listening to us across the entire globe. Welcome to the Psychic Cafe. That's right. Come on in, grab your coffee or tea, pull up a chair, and let's hang out and chat everything psychic, tarot, numerology, you name it. Here we are live on Blog Talk Radio, and we are simulcasting on YouTube. That's right. So if you are listening on the radio, maybe you're listening to one of the players out there all over the web, or perhaps you've called into the show or you're listening on blogtalkradio.com, you're missing half the show because we are live video streaming. So all you need to do is open a new tab in your browser and type in psychic.cafe/live. That's psychic.cafe/live. Or if you go over to YouTube, type in the Psychic Cafe and do a search and look for our channel. You might have to do the filter just channels if it doesn't pop up right away. I think it pops up most of the time right away now. So the Psychic Cafe, click on the channel, go to the channel, you'll see the current live, click on that, it'll take you in the live. You'll be able to see me on camera and join me in the chat room. That's right, we have a live chat room going on. Michelle, one of our hosts, just popped in. Hi, Michelle. Is Dan coming? Is he going to be hanging out here with us in the chat? That's like half the show is what goes on in the chat. Yeah. And by the way, if you're listening on YouTube, we're simulcasting on radio. So that means we have 50 caller lines. You can call into the show, 714-816-4628. I put that in the chat, but the number is also right here. You see the scroll at the bottom of the screen? It'll come back around in a minute. 714-816-4628. As soon as you get through, press 1 on your dial pad. I would love to chat with you and hang out. Now, Kat just came in. Hi, Kat. Wanted to I love to catch everybody when they come into the chat, and it's a nice little like group, and it makes us feel more connected and cozy and stuff. Gonna grab myself a little bit of tea for those not seeing me and you're on radio. Hang on a second. Got me some mint tea going. Yep. I did my coffee this morning, so I figured I'm gonna switch to tea. And even though it's really hot here, I'm drinking hot mint tea, but I also have water. Gotta have water when you're broadcasting. Been doing this for 14 years now. Oh my, oh my. Gonna shuffle the deck a little bit. So how's everybody doing today? Oh, and I want to let everybody know, you probably saw on the advertisement banners and everything, me and Charlotte, Charlotte's not here, as you can see. So I talked to her earlier today and she was going to join, and, she was all set to be on the show. She loves this show, especially on Mondays, because it's when she pops in, and she calls it Monday Fun Day with Charlotte here as my guest co-host on Psychic Cafe. Well, she was all fine and set. And then when it got closer to the show, I messaged her and she said that she wasn't feeling too good. It might be the heat, and something with her tummy, but the heat stroke, it just saps everything out of you. It messes up your digestion. It messes everything up, so it may very well be that that's what's causing. I told her, get the ice wraps and put them around your neck and things like that. When I used to cook out on the grill for the American Legion, my American Legion post, I did that for 52 weeks, 52 Saturdays out on the grill, regardless of the weather. So if it was cold or raining or hot, it didn't matter. 113-degree temperatures, we were out there. So what we used to do was make giant buckets of ice and water and put all these towels in it. And then we just, take the towel out, wrap it, throw it around our necks, and then throw it back in, put a new one on, and that actually worked, kept us cool. Of course, it's too late probably for Charlotte now. She said I gave her that idea, but she's like, it's too late, it's already gone to my tummy. And so everybody send some healing energy out to Charlotte, who is hopefully listening. She said, if she starts feeling a little better, she'll pop into the chat or at least listen to the show and so forth. Let's see. And Kat says, let's send her good energy. Yes. And Kat wants us to pull a card. Okay, so we'll pull a card for Kat. And we're going to go to the phone lines here in just a second. I'm just shuffling, shuffling, shuffling. Let's take a look. Oh my God. This is this is the episode that Charlotte, you shouldn't have missed this episode. Literally, the phone lines are lit up like a Christmas tree. I don't know what it is about Mondays. It's our biggest, most listened to show of the week, you know. I'm gonna go over here actually. Let me see if I can go to the studio on YouTube, see what's going on with things. First of all, I'll give you guys an update where we are. We keep telling you about the monetization. We've hit the 500 subscribers for the first level monetization. The second one is 1,000. So please keep subscribing. That's right. Subscribe to the channel and like the videos, of course, and listen. Our listen watch hours, I shouldn't say listens. I'm so used to doing radio for 14 years before doing this video stuff on YouTube. We have 2,473 public watch hours, almost 2,500. We need 3,000. So we're like 500 and a little bit away, public watch hours. And how you can help us with that. Okay, so we have playlists here on the channel, the Psychic Cafe, and we have some really cool workshops. They're anywhere from 40 minutes or an hour or something like that. If you find one or two or three that's interesting, watch through them. Make sure you hit like on the video after you subscribe, right? Subscribe to the channel, hit like, watch through the video. That helps us with our watch hours. Yeah. And, even if you only find a couple that you want to watch through, that's great. It's I'm not sure about rewatching the lives. I don't think that helps anything. So I'm going to say, try the workshops and interviews, deck reviews, things like that, right? And then and then all the ones that you don't like, if you really want to help us, go ahead and start it watching it on YouTube on your computer. Switch to your phone, go out, do the dishes, whatever, just let it play through. That'll help our watch hours too. And Dan, Michelle's hubby, Dan Matheny, who's one of our moderators and lifetime member of the Tarot Guild here at Psychic Cafe, he's watched through tons of it. He's gotten us, almost to that 3,000. Of course, we have to reach 4,000 and 1,000 subscribers to hit full monetization, where we get like, ad revenue and all that stuff like that. But at 500 and 3,000 watch hours, we get really cool stuff like all the supers, super stickers, super thanks, super chat, all that kind of stuff. So that would be cool if y'all could help us out with that. And well, let's see, I was going to go over to the content here, and I wanted to look at like our latest. Let's see, here's one. Whoops, it started playing. Oh, okay, we got 73 views on that. Most of the Mondays we've been hitting over 100, but that was last Monday after we took a break. We weren't on the Monday before that. So I'm hoping this Monday is going to be gangbusters because, like I said, phone lines are jam-packed. Hey, if you're on the phone lines right now, don't worry. I'm going to come to the phone lines just a second, okay? Get ready, because a lot of times I go to people's phone lines and, I pull up their line and they don't answer. I have to put them back on hold and come back to them later, so get ready. I might be coming to you. That's right. And also in the chat, don't forget, you can put in your questions in the chat. There's Dan. Dan just popped into the chat as well. Hopefully a bunch of our regulars will start showing up in the chat. do have a question from Kat, but what you do is, if you just want something general, pull a card, let me know. Kat kind of did that. May I ask for a card pull when you find a moment? So you could say, could I have a message from the universe? But if you have a really specific question, which I really like the really specific questions, is this happening? When's that going to happen? This thing, that thing, really specific. Try to not write an entire book. Keep it down to like 1 or 2 lines. That would be great. Yes. And then there is the magic way, which I'm going to pop the banner up for that. The magic way to jump to the top of the caller queue or the list of questions in chat works for either one. You go to psychic.cafe/coffee and buy us a cup of coffee. That's right. It's our tip jar. Buy us a cup of coffee and we will bump you to the top of the caller queue. All you got to do is get into the chat on YouTube, buy a cup of coffee at psychic.cafe/coffee, which, by the way, reminds me, I need to, let's see if I can grab a URL of that and pop it into the chat here for the people in chat. Coffee, psychic.cafe/coffee. Yeah, there's no .com, .org, .net. It's .cafe is our URL, believe it or not. Psychic.cafe/coffee. Super cool. Buy us a cup of coffee and come into the chat. Say, hey, I'm area code 619. My name is Joe, and I just bought you a cup of coffee. We'll stop whatever we're doing and we'll go right to your call and we'll spend more time with you. We'll let you ask follow-up questions, things like that. Also in the chat, if your questions in the chat, and let's say you're like, I don't know, 9, 10, 12 deep, in the questions, if you buy us a cup of coffee and let us know in chat, we will jump your question in chat to the top of, even if you're like 10 down or whatever, we'll go right to you. Anyway, that's what I meant to say. So I thought I'd just let you guys know about that. What else? Okay, so card for today, I got the Chariot, the victory card. That's right. It's also 7, the seeker energy. So they want to know, especially if it's your life path in numerology, how does the universe work? And they're the great natural detectives and things like that. But the Chariot is about victory, and perseverance and moving forward. It could also be travel, especially wheeled travel, cars, trains, buses, that kind of thing. We have other cards for like boats and airplanes. Believe it or not, it's in the tarot. Really, it is. This version's a little different where the charioteer and the chariot, it's like coming out of the waves here with the horses. So, maybe this does mean water travel now, this version of the card, but it's victory. And when I was cutting the deck, I got the heart of the matter card, which is the King of Swords. That's right. So the Chariot's message of victory and success is reinforced with this King of Swords. It's all the symbols of leadership and decision making and intellect and analyzing it, and things like that. So it's talking about using the logical mind to overcome challenges, also a balance between the emotions, which, like the Chariot, it's following your passions and all. It could be seen more as the emotion side, going for it. And then with the King of Swords being the intellectual side, saying, think your way through these things as you move forward. So that's the cards I got for today. Let me know if that resonates with anybody. And by the way, if you're watching this a couple days from now, 2 weeks from now, 2 years from now, that message was for you. Going to take another sip of the tea. Dan said, howdy all. Michelle said, way to go, Dan. Michelle, what did Dan do? They were going, way to go, Dan. Just that he made it here. That's cool. He made it here. So yeah, this was going to be the shortest show ever because no co-host tonight. I'm flying solo. But with all these calls, who knows? Who knows? So we're going to go to the phone lines in just a second. 714-816-4628. That's the number to call in. You can watch us on YouTube and call into the show. But if you can't call in, yep, you can just go ahead and pop it in the chat, your question. Kat says, definitely resonates. Dax, you rock. Hey, thank you. Thank you very much. So I'm going to give time for people to call into the show here and join us. Oh, and if you can hear me in the chat, let me know on YouTube if everything's working fine with the YouTube live and everything, because I'm getting weird signals here on the studio, and I'm not entirely sure why, what it's doing here. So Dan and Kat and Michelle and anybody else in the chat room, when you hear me asking this, let me know if it's still running, because I got the little circling wheel of death, and I'm scared to death that this thing is not recording. Luckily, we're recording on my computer, so I'll have a backup file just in case we have to upload it later to YouTube if it's not working. Okay, so for everybody listening, I'm going to refresh the studio on YouTube, and hopefully this does not end anything or screw anything up, or let's see. Okay, it's reset here. So Kat says seems good on this side, no issues. Okay, good. It looks like everything is fine then. You know, you get worried with the technology because the technology is just crazy. So before we take that first phone call, by the way, get ready. 850, you're first. 518, you're on deck. 651, you're after that. So yeah, everybody get ready. We're going to get to the calls in the order that they came in. Again, unless you go to psychic.cafe/coffee and grab us a cup of coffee and let me know in the chat so I know to bring you on and what your area code is and stuff like that. For Kat, I'm getting, oh wow, the next best victory card next to the Chariot, which we got as the card of the day, and I think that's why I'm getting this. Which is a major arcana card. The minor arcana version of that, the success card, is the Six of Wands. Kat, what is it that you're doing? Because it looks like you're going to be getting some accolades, some recognition, perhaps, for something you're doing. You're going to be successful at this. Okay. Um, and I think it perfectly resonates with the message today, and you want to really use the intellect, you want to come at it analytically. Okay. So, just don't know what to tell you, Kat, but it's like whatever it is you're working on, make sure yeah, you want to use your expression, creativity, your emotions, and your that passion, like the chariot card I was talking about. All right. But you also want to temper it with logical moving forward. Okay. So yeah, use all of those with what you're working on. And Kat says in chat, yes, working on a grant. Excellent, excellent. Let me pull another card for you and see what comes up. Maybe we got some more information on that grant. Oh, very interesting. So I got the Tower card. The Tower card. Now, a lot of times, the Tower card comes up and it's like, oh no, that is sudden, unexpected change. It's crashing and burning. Is Kat's, grant going to crash and burn? No, that's not what's going on here. See, that's one of the meanings. But another major meaning, and by the way, this is a major arcana card, so this is really important, Kat. Another major meaning. God, I cannot freaking talk tonight. Another major meaning is a shift in foundations. Okay, so it's kind of, again, another one of those thinking outside the box cards that we have in tarot. So as you're working on this grant, you might want to look at, what's your beliefs surrounding the grant. Do you have it set in your mind? Oh, it has to work this way. I have to do it this way, do that this way. apply this way, submit this way, write it up this way. You know, how you have all these beliefs around it. Maybe you might want to take a step back and rethink all that. Okay. So that's what I got for you there, Kat. Awesome. The grant is a derivative of a loss that inspired me. Oh, well, there you go. It could be that meaning of the towers, the loss that is involved with the grant, but it's looking very positive, is what I'm getting at. Both of those cards are yes cards. Awesome. Let's go over to the phone lines. Who's been waiting the longest? Looks like area code 850. Caller, are you there? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, Michelle, and I'm calling from Florida.
Hey, Michelle from Florida. How's it going?
Oh, all right. Very thankful that God spared me in this hurricane, but boy, it was close. It turned a little bit to the west right at the last minute. That saved us.
Yeah, I was going to
So
ask
the
you
most
about that
winds
because
that
I
we
heard
had was
about
about
that.
37.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We was
Awesome.
pretty glued. It was about 37-mile-an-hour winds, and it was pretty much 30 miles an hour winds all day long today.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, so pretty happy about that. And but I
Mm-hmm.
had a question to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I went through a split up and divorce of the ex and all that. But anyways, he is just making people hate me where I live at. I stay on my boat at the marina.
Mm.
He's friends with the dock master. He's like buddy buddy with the dock master. I asked
Okay.
for some help, like nobody wanted to help. Nobody wanted to help me. I needed help. I've got bad hands, so I needed help with the fenders, the boat fenders. And it was like they wouldn't help me, and they're, I know they deliberately did it. I just know, and I
Mm.
know they're watching me. And because I went for a walk earlier, and the boy, one of the workers, comes flying up behind me on a golf cart. So they're watching everywhere I go.
Mm.
And I'm like, this is just ridiculous. When is this going to stop? It's like, how do I make it stop? Because, you know what I mean? He's real
Exactly.
sneaky about it. I know it's what he wants to do. He wants me to
Yeah.
fail, so I'll come running back to him, and I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. And um the major arcana card I'm getting here is the judgment card. It's talking about a cosmic wake-up call. It's kind of like saying, okay, Michelle, you're going to have to do more than just a mundane level change. In other words, um, in with the minor arcana cards, we're getting the day to day. With the major arcana cards, it's big life change. And so it's saying, okay, here's your cosmic wake up call. And then the card I get for this is the Three of Wands. And it's hilarious because it's a bunch of boats in a harbor. I mean, literally talking about what you were just talking about. So you were talking about the
Oh,
dot,
wow.
and all of that, and living on the boat and everything like that. And I'm pulling the card and I'm like, oh my God, this is like the tarot winking at us going, yeah, see, this stuff works, right? But the other the other part about this is three is creativity and communication. So it's going at it communication wise and getting a little creative with this. In other words, um you're going to have to work on this. This is not something that's going to resolve itself. You know, it's not like because you were asking about, when is this going to stop? It's not like I'm going to pull the cards and it's going to say, okay, in 3 weeks, Michelle, this all stops for you and everything's fine. No, that's not going to happen. You need to actually
Well, what
work
do I do? I mean, there is no communication with him. I mean, he's trying to
right,
literally make it so hard on me,
right,
and
right.
I'm
So
not a vindictive person, you
and
know.
I don't have the full answers for you. I'm just showing you what I'm getting. I'm just talking about the cards I'm getting here. The judgment card, the major arcana card says this is a big change. It's the universe saying, hey, wake up, Michelle. you're going at this the wrong way or not going at it at all, and you need to go at it. And not only is it cute, that the Three of Wands um, kind of, is reflecting your situation, literally the harbor, but it's more than that. It's you've got to get creative with your communication. There's movement in this card. This is, in this card, the boats are shipping off. You may need a change of venue. All right. And then the other card that I got is the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so this is younger individuals. This is somebody that's doing research in a material area and so forth. So it's saying that, hey, if you're not in communication with them, you may need to get into communication. And it might not just be you like directly communicating, like picking up the phone, texting, that kind of thing. It may be like through a lawyer, you might have to communicate with them, through the court system or the police or something else. You might have to communicate with them. The Page of Pentacles also indicates younger individuals. So, okay, the people that, you're in contact with don't want to help you. Okay, well, seek other people, especially younger people that aren't involved in the nitty-gritty BS that's going on with this, you know, and they might not be
Right.
right there where you are. They might be over here or on the other side of town or the next town over, or I don't know where, but you can get help from other people. Okay. You just have to
Well,
work on the
that's what I
communication.
did. I got help. That's
Mhm.
what I did. I got help from some new friends that I just met. But then today they were following me over to where I met that friend. They were following me on the golf cart.
Yeah. Well, it's like you cannot control what other people are going to do. So it's either you control how you react to how they are acting towards you. You either control how you react or you extricate yourself from the situation. That's these boats leaving, physically getting away from there. So you have to decide that. I'm not making any decisions. I'm not telling you that the cards are telling you that you need to even do that. All I'm saying is these are the options. Okay. It's talking about creativity and communication. It's talking about new friends, younger people, people that aren't caught up in the bullshit. It's talking about making maybe some big life changes with the Judgment card and the Three of Wands with the moving out. And like I said, the main takeaway for me, what I'm getting is we can't control what they're doing, and it probably will not stop. So you either change how you are affected by that, change how you react to it, or you extricate yourself from the situation. That's the only couple, two, three possibilities
Right.
there. Yeah. So,
Right.
that's what's coming up in the cards. Unfortunately, it's not always, rosy and fantastic stuff that comes up to the cards. What comes up is what you need to know now, you know, and that's
Oh
what,
yeah, you helped me out a great bit.
yep. I hope it helped you out there, Michelle. We got to move on though. Got a whole bunch of callers.
It
Woo-hoo.
sure did. Thank you. Thank
All
you. I
righty.
know. Thank you so much.
Yep. And if anything happens, you're able to extricate yourself from that situation, make new friends, it stops somehow by communication or whatever you have to do. I mean, the only thing that came to mind was a restraining order. But if you ever figure that all out, come on back, Michelle, and let us know what's going on. And we're always happy to pull new cards as well. What else is going on? Let's see in the chat. Sahil came in and wants to know about Parvez thoughts about us. And when you say us, I'm thinking about you and them as a couple, maybe? Is that what you mean? And then Kat, let's see what's Kat saying here. I'm telling you, if you guys are listening on the radio players live or you've dialed in or whatever, you're missing half the show because you got to come over and get in the chat room because you can ask questions in the chat and talk to people in the chat live while I'm on the air here. And you could also get to see me. And the cards, by the way, I'm using the Llewellyn deck, which we absolutely love. I'm trying to understand what Kat was trying to say here. The interconnection of the theme across all listeners is so beautiful and harmonious. Yes, it is. It's really cool. Kind of quiet in the chat. I mean, Dan's in there. Hi, Dan. Dan and Michelle and Kat and Sahil. I know I'm butchering that name. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. But yeah, hopefully more people will join us in the chat shortly. Sometimes on these shows, it takes a good half hour into the show, which we are, by the way, half hour into the show. And let's see what the thoughts are for Sahil here. Oh, okay. Can't get better than this, Sahil. So 10 of Cups, idyllic family situation. All right. And then 2 4 cards, the 4 of Wands, and that's usually a celebration of some kind, and often like a wedding reception, for instance. But I also got another 4. Now, there's a lot with more than 1 4 coming up. There's a lot of structured things going here. So give that a little thought. This is the 4 of Cups. This is, it's like you're not 100% satisfied by something. You have opportunities in this relationship, but you're not quite sure. But up here is this 4th cup that you're not seeing. There's another option you're unaware of right now that you'll be able to take. Okay, so that is the message coming up about your relationship. I hope that helps you out. D just came in. Hi, D. And for everybody coming in now, remember, if you want me to pull a card or something general, just say, can I get a message from the universe? If you have, a specific question, just go ahead and type it in the chat. And we'll come back to the chat in just a second. We have to pop over the phone lines because, oh my God, it's lit up like a Christmas tree here. We're going to go to area code 518 that's been waiting the longest. Are you there, caller? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi. Yeah, I'm Val. How are you?
Did you say Val?
Yes,
Okay, I'm doing great. How are you, Val?
I'm doing all right, thanks.
Where are you calling in from? What's your neck
I
of the
am.
woods?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in New York State.
New York. Alrighty. What do you want to chat
hmm
about?
Not the city.
Right, New York
Every
State.
time you say New York, everybody thinks the city.
Not me, because I'm from
So,
Pennsylvania
not
and
the
I
city.
know about the state versus the city.
Oh, okay. Not that there's anything wrong with the city, but it's just you say New York and everybody assumes the
Yeah,
city, and I'm like, no, not the city. But the city is a fun place. Um, so I am calling in. Yes, I'd like to know what you see. I don't know if I can just throw out a couple things and see what you
sure.
pick up in general. Work, love, romance, life, anything, or all of the above, or whatever you get.
Well, that's not a specific question then. That's kind of a general, what's going on kind of thing.
Yeah.
Let's
Are you
see.
able to do that?
Of course, sure. We're getting temperance for
Thank you.
this. Okay. So
Okay.
temperance is about balance and it's a marrying of opposites. And right next to it is a success card, 6 of success, 6 of pentacles. And this one is specifically talking about, your finances and uh either, because there's a merchant weighing out alms to the poor. Now, you could be on the receiving end, maybe a windfall or something coming through, or you could be on the giving end, which means it's talking about being careful, weighing things. Be careful, of your financial situation when you're being generous. Weigh out what you're putting out. Weigh out what you're putting out. And the two of the 2 of Wands, Two is relationships
Mhm.
and cooperation and partnerships and things like that. And I think this relates to the Six of Pentacles. This seems all to have to do with finances, business, career, work, that kind of thing. And with the Two of
Okay.
Wands, they have a globe in their hand here, and they're
Mhm.
basically have the whole world in their hands, and it's about seeking that next thing, seeking that next thing. It's kind of a hint that if you've thought about doing something else, it's saying, yeah, green light, this is what you're supposed to do. Okay, so that's mostly
Oh,
what's coming up. There's nothing, I'm not seeing anything about relationships or the romantic side of things or anything like that. It's all about finances, career, nothing negative.
mhm.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
so, so
Okay. Well, thank you. So,
think
yeah,
about
go ahead.
that. Yep. Think about that, and see what pops in your
Mhm.
head. And
Okay.
the message, usually what happens is, you know, uh, I'm just telling you what's in the cards. And it
Okay.
may sometimes it makes perfect sense, sometimes it makes no sense at all. And so it's the person receiving the information, and that has to figure that out. And sometimes it takes time, and uh hours go by or a day or two goes by, and it's like, oh, now it makes sense what Dax was saying. So, just keep it in your head, and this will be recorded in
Okay.
case you need to listen to it again. All right. Thanks for calling in, Val.
Yes, great. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you so much.
Awesome
Mm.
sauce. Having great calls and great questions in the chat and everything. What is going on in the chat? So D put a question in. Looking for a new job. What do you see? Hopefully a new job by September. Well, fall and change of seasons like that is like the perfect time to start new things and all. We'll pull some cards on that and see. Hey, before we get there though, I want to invite everybody to come over to Psychic Cafe, and I'm going to pop up the URL here. That one actually has Maria's angel book, which you can get your copy of, psychic.cafe/angel book. But what I was talking about was just our basic www.psychic.cafe. And you don't really need the www dot, but I put that in there so this is an actual URL. Like I said earlier, not a .com, not a .net, not a .org, .cc. It's actually a .cafe. So open a new tab in your browser, type in psychic.cafe or www.psychic.cafe, however you want to do it, and pop over here. It's like joining Facebook. It's free. That's right. Come and join us. It has all the same features as Facebook, only it's better. Yes, it does not have any of the negative stuff. It doesn't have the constant ads, the constant distractions. It's just all of our stuff all the time. And yeah, you get your own profile, just like Facebook. You can use it as your social media. You can get rid of the other ones that you don't want to have. Yeah, you just bring your friends over and say, hey, let's chat on here. If they're into the same things, coffee, tea, or anything psychic, tarot, numerology, astrology, animal communication. We talk about life coaching and hypnosis, neurolinguistics, energy healing, Reiki, crystals, you name it, we talk about it here. And this can be your home away from home, and it's free to join. Psychic.cafe. Just come on over. In fact, I will show you the front page real quick. It looks like this on a desktop. Of course, on a pad or a phone, it's going to be squished together here, but generally what you see in the middle is what you're going to see, the first thing when you come over to psychic.cafe, if you're not already joined and signed in. You just push that big green button where it says join us now. It's free, right? And then you're going to put in your username, and I hesitate to say, but on the back end, trying to find your accounts and set things up does get a little hectic if you use some crazy usernames, So like, try to use your name. Like I did Dax Carlisle because I'm Dax Carlisle. If you want to use a fancy, weird kind of, username kind of thing, okay, go ahead and do it, but make sure in your profile you put in your actual real name there, because when people um, sign up for when we're signing you up for the newsletter, and we do that all manually right now, and when we set you up for membership in the guild or access to my course, or anything like that, it gets really hairy trying to find you here. um, Another way you can do it is these buttons like Facebook, Google, Twitter, Amazon, LinkedIn. The Instagram one doesn't seem to be working right now. Got to work on that, but all the other ones are available. You can use your social media accounts to join. You can click the word register anywhere on the site, or that big green join us now, it's free button, and go ahead and sign up. While I'm on here, though, I'm going to mention the summer sale going on right now. And I'm going to put that URL in the chat here while we're talking about it. Summer. That's right. It's very simple. It is psychic.cafe/summer. And it is our big blowout half off everything sizzling summer sale. Oh my God. Everything is 50% off. My tarot and numerology course called Tarot by the Numbers. If you're new to tarot and numerology, if you are a professional already, a professional reader, a professional psychic advisor, you can join the Tarot Guild. Annual membership is half price. Your professional certification is half price. Readings and coaching is half price. Everything's half price. And I'm going to give you some of those numbers real quick. If I can pop over there, there you go. So Tarot Guild membership normally $78. It's $39 for the year right now. Professional certification, if you're already a member, you can get certified for 69 bucks. If you're a lifetime member, remember it's included free. But if you're not a lifetime member, you're an annual member, you have to pay the application fee. It's $69. That's half price per level. And then if you're not a member, you can get the certification and membership package deal. That is the membership and the certification, and you get an additional, not only to get half off the membership and half off certification, you get an additional $9 off. So it's 99 bucks for certification and membership. And even if you're already a member, if you're an annual, this is not lifetime members, this is annual members, people that pay every year, instead of paying that 78 bucks, you can get this package deal, get your certification paid for, and your next year's of membership. So like, let's say your membership runs out in November this year. When that hits, you'll get another year paid up at the super low price. That's right. And my course is half price right now. Tarot and numerology. It's called Tarot by the Numbers, $149. That's half price. And if you want to get all of those together, you're planning on taking the course and joining the guild and getting certified, $199. $199. I don't even remember how much you saved, but the course is $297, certification $138, membership $78 a year. You get all that for $199. Plus my coaching and readings, normally $99.99. They're just $49 right now. That's right. Okay. And upcoming guests, we have the fabulous Stephanie Dreams joining us this month, Sunday, August 18th, with my guest co host, Pamela Steele, another famous tarot author and deck creator. She'll be helping me interview Stephanie about her Enchanted Shadows Oracle deck. And you can see some of the cards right here, which are in our new website, Psychic Cafe. It's in our new website colors. I swear she made this deck for us. Anyway, check that out. They're really cool. It's an Oracle deck, not a tarot deck, but that's great. We love our Oracle decks as well. And it'll be Sunday, August 18th, 11 a.m. San Diego time, 2 p.m. New York time. Come join us for that. We also want to invite you to become a host on the network. And I've set up a page, which I'm going to put on here real quick in the chat for everybody live in the chat, psychic.cafe/hosting. If you want information about becoming host, maybe you've always thought about, doing YouTube lives and YouTube videos and doing live radio, doing podcasting, pre-recorded shows. We do it all and have done it all for 14 years. We're in our 15th year right now. If you don't want to go through that huge learning curve, and whatever you do, whatever your idea for a show or to be a host, what your modality is, if it's anything connected with psychic, such as tarot numerology, psychic mediumship, animal communication, all the above, even crystals, Reiki, I mean, you name it. If it's involved with that, you can join us as a host. And there's a lot of different ways to do it. So go over to this page, psychic.cafe/hosting, and learn all about the different ways you can become a host, because you can just join us on these shows as a guest co-host, or you can start your own custom radio show, which also will be a YouTube live if you decide, and it'll be automatically a podcast as well. Yep. So come check that out. Come check that out. Also, no show tomorrow, but Wednesday, Michelle Matheny will be joining me as guest co-host. Same bat time, same bat channel, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And we'll be taking your calls as well. And then Ellie should be joining me this Thursday, hopefully. And Compassionate Light is coming back I wanted to let everybody know, I talked to Catherine, and it's coming back in September, maybe. I think fall, September. So is the Angelic View coming back as well. Michelle's Mystic Corner, her next show will be It's Elementary, my friend, and it's this coming Saturday, followed by on Sunday a live Zoom discussion and Q&A. So instead of a show, we're doing an intimate live communication, live Zoom, where we do a discussion and Q&A, same time as our shows, but instead of being broadcasted out, it's private. It's just, you can all come and hang out. Write this URL down, www.psychic.cafe/Zoom. And you can join us on this Zoom and ask anything you want about tarot, numerology, anything psychic development, the whole shebang. Plus, you can ask us about the Tarot Guild, becoming a professional member, getting certified. Maybe you're new to this, new being a professional advisor, tarot reader, professional in this field or one of these fields. You can set up your business on Psychic Cafe and not worry about how you're going to do that and get a website made and everything like that. By the way, I do make websites. So if you do need your own website, after that, I can help you out with that. But in the beginning, we can get you a custom URL, psychic.cafe/your name. You can set your business up on Psychic Cafe. That's right. And don't forget the coffee page, psychic.cafe/coffee. If you're enjoying these shows and hanging out with us, let's go over to the chat here real quickly. A lot of phone lines opening up now, 714-816-4628. If you want to call into the show, we'll be going back to the phone lines in just a second. Remember to press 1 on your dial pad when you get through. So we know you want to be live on air with us. Go to 714-816-4628, press 1. Let's go back to the chat. Let's see. I'm trying to remember, did we do? Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did Sahil's question. Then Kat had asked, are certain decks better for different purposes? My deck I've had for 30 years. However you want to do it, to be honest with you. There are some people that swear by using the same deck for decades, and it's their go-to deck. It's the only thing they read from, and they literally sleep with the thing. They put it in their purse and take it with them wherever they go. I put mine in my backpack and take it wherever I go. I have more than one deck I use Steel Wizard by Pamela Steele. I use Tarot Grand Lux by Ciro Marchetti. And of course the Llewellyn deck, which is fabulous watercolors, very much like the traditional Waite Smith deck, but really pretty and beautiful colors and everything like that. I also like how it's a big wide deck, which is more substantial, I feel, when doing readings and stuff. Um, so some people, what they do is, depending on what the client is asking, they'll have different decks, and they might, some might be tarot decks, or some might be, got something on me here. Some might be Oracle decks, Lenormand decks. They might all be Oracle decks, no tarot. It depends on the reader. And yeah, certain decks, sometimes it's just the feel that you get with the deck, that it jives with a certain type of reading. Sometimes the deck is specifically made for that purpose, like a love and romance deck, or an angel deck, or a deck for a specific subgroup of people, like LGBTQ, or uh Wiccan, or you know uh non-binary, or, I mean, there are so many kinds of decks out there, literally thousands and thousands of decks. Some people have a deck for each purpose. Others have just a bunch of decks, and it's typically, not always, but it's typically uh you know a lot of people that do readings in person, and so they'll have, like, and some of them have these really nice things that, either they have them in a basket, or they have this really nice, like, bookshelf type thing where they have all the decks laid out, and they have the client pick, right? There are certain decks that are more friendly to work with children and teens. um Me, sometimes I get pulled to different decks, but primarily I just stick with one deck, and I have um the Rider-Waite Smith in gold foil, which I love, which I'm looking around here where I put it. I don't think I have it here right now. With in person with people, I like Ciro Marchetti's deck. Ciro Marchetti, they're beautiful, digital art, and it's a very nice deck from US Games. Substantial card stock. The card stock on the Llewellyn's much thinner, which I like because it makes the deck thinner, easier to shuffle, but they could get torn and ripped easily, so I don't let anybody handle the deck. I may let them, after I shuffle, if we're in person, doing an in-person reading, I might let them, cut the deck, but that's about it. No one shuffles the decks except me. Um, and sometimes there's seasons where it's just like, I go 8 months just only using Llewellyn, and then it's like suddenly I get a calling to start using foil, the gold foil deck, the Waite Smith. And then I use that for a couple of months, and then I'm, back with Chiro's deck or something like that, I also do, when Pamela comes on as my guest co-host, because she created Steel Wizard. She's the artist. I often use Steel Wizard on the Sundays that she's my guest co-host. Yeah. So there's really no rhyme or reason around it, Kat, Um, personally, I I think just having one deck so you know it inside and out is the best way to learn, at least. Maybe down the line you can have different decks for different purposes. There's no need. There really isn't. You get a deck that has really good imagery, like Llewellyn or one of Chiro's decks or something like that. And that's all you need is one deck. Now, I'm not telling the people out there that use multiple decks that that's not a good thing to do. I think it's a great thing to do. If that's how you want to work and you have a deck for romance readings, or maybe that's your niche and that's all you do is romance readings, which I highly recommend niches to our professionals. Be the finance person, be the person that does tarot readings and coaching, helping spiritual entrepreneurs, small business owners, finance, um, pick a niche, a niche, and then find a deck that fits that and just use that one deck. That's another way to do it. I do so many general stuff that I use general decks. So I hope that answered your question, but it was really great, Kat. I love when people ask fun questions like that. And Kat said, "You're so helpful." And thanks, that's super helpful. Yay, Kat. The thing I want to say, oh, wait, what did she say? That's helpful. I feel like my default lifelong deck is telling me to expand and use my other decks or use a new one. Totally go for it. See, that's the thing. There is no rhyme or reason about this. If I have a general idea, I don't want to say a rule about something. If I have something I'm drawn to doing something a certain way with tarot or decks or reading or anything like that, it's usually because there's a practical reason. It's not usually anything woo woo or anything like that. There's usually some practical reason why I do a certain thing a certain way. But I think there's no rules in tarot, card reading, psychic ability, psychic advising. you know there are techniques, there's life coaching that you can add to your to being a reader or an advisor that will help out. Certain techniques from neurolinguistics, NLP, will help. Even hypnosis, EFT is a great thing to learn. Emotional freedom technique, everybody should have that in their tool belt if you're going to work directly with clients. And trust me, also have the tissue box, because emotions are going to come up. And wouldn't it be great to say, oh, you have this emotional block, let's go through a couple tapping rounds on that. That's right. That's how you become a great advisor, not just a tarot reader. You become a tarot advisor, and that's more like a life coach. Yeah. Okay, going back to no look for questions here. Oh, good morning from South Africa. Crazy came in. It is 4:23. Is that AM? I assume crazy. 4:23 AM. And that is crazy, by the way. Tropical Empress popped in. Tropical says, I pull what deck calls to me that day. Yeah, a lot of people do it that way. My guides will say it to God, I'm having trouble. The text is being covered up. Here, let me try something. There we go. I'm trying to move the text up because it's being covered by things. Here we go. My guides will say it to me which one or what type of reading to focus on. There you go. Yeah, that's a great way to do it. So, and she also said earlier, I missed this. She said, I have a collection of Oracle and Tarot, but I have a few favorites. Yeah, a lot of people do. And then, um, Michelle is turning us on to Lenormand and Kipler, and there's like so many different kinds of decks out there now and everything. Cool stuff. Let me look for some questions. I just want to make sure I didn't miss any questions because I saw cats. And then D's was the one I mentioned earlier about finding a new around finding the new job, and she mentioned September. Oh, that's a good sign. Yes, yes. Okay, there is a delay with the Hanged Man. Hold on a second. I gotta shrink down so I can see my camera. There we go. The Hanged Man. Yes. So with this job search, two things. One, there's going to be a delay, which makes sense because even you said September, so this is a slight delay into the next month, maybe a little beyond. Also, if you've been searching for a while, this is also it, it's a major arcana card. So it's a cosmic wake up. It's a big message. And this is one of those thinking outside the box cards, like I was talking about earlier. And really, it's saying, you know, in the Hanged Man, the fella has hung himself upside down so that he can see the world 180 degrees upside down from the rest of us from a new perspective, get new insight and ideas. Okay. And it always reminds me of Odin, who hung himself upside down from the Dressel tree to learn the meaning of the runes. And I think what the message is here for you, D, is that if nothing's forthcoming and you're doing the same things to get the job, that's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Remember Einstein's the definition of insanity? What you want to do is adopt the position of this hanged man. Start thinking outside the box. Look at the whole situation from different perspective and step outside your comfort zone. What is it you're not doing that you could be doing? What is it? And the best one is like, what is it that scares you that you don't want to do to find a job? That is almost always what you're supposed to do. It's true. It's true. Now, I got the 10 of swords, and swords does hint, by the way, at fall and September. So that is a good sign. Okay. A little bit of trapped by the thoughts and emotions. Swords are thoughts and emotions. And traditionally in the 10 of swords, we have a blindfolded person, oh no, I'm talking about wrong card, sorry. Typically in the traditional 10 of swords, there is the swords are all in the guy's back, although there's no blood present or something. This 10 of swords is a little different. She's surrounded by the swords, more like the 8 of swords, which is what I was getting at. It's like overkill here when you get to the number 10 anywhere in numerology or tarot, because there is no 10. 10 is 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. Call that reduction in numerology. So you're surrounded by thoughts and ideas. You're overthinking some of this as well, D. And lastly, the page of wands saying, see, he has his scroll there and he's looking off into the distance. Do your research, do more research. Again, think outside the box. Get outside of your comfort zone. But it does look like something could break free by September if you follow the advice that tarot is giving you here. Let's see. Kelly had a basic. Hi, Kelly. Kelly had a basic yes, no. Would it be wise to offer my services to an old employer? Because I know she's about to freak out entering her super high stress season. Oh, okay. Should you offer your services? Ooh. Okay, so my question is, alrighty. One, two. I'm getting 3 out of 5. No. So right now, I'm going to say, Kelly, it's sort of hinting that maybe you shouldn't do this. Now, you said your old employer. My question, whenever someone says, my ex-boyfriend, my old employer, first thing out of my mouth is, do you remember why they are your ex-boyfriend? Do you remember why it is your old employer? Are there issues there? Because look what comes up. The 3 of Swords is the first card that came up. Unhappy with a situation, right? So maybe it's not a good idea to go back to that to that company. Now, I do have things that, hint that this could be turned around if you get a good focus on it. Uh, for some reason, the Ten of Wands is coming up. Something is overburdened here. But the Nine of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles, you're working on skills and abilities. You have the mastery, and then the self-made woman. Okay, the entrepreneur. It's almost like saying, you know, really what you should be doing, Kelly, is you should be taking your skills and abilities, your crafts, and you should be doing your own business, not helping out this ex employer. That's what it seems to be hinting at to me. So I hope that helps you out. Let's go over to, let's see, who's been waiting the longest. Looks like area code 651. Caller, are you there? 651?
Yes. Hi.
What's your name, hon? Where are you calling from?
This is Christiana calling from Minnesota.
Hi, Christiana. What's new with you?
I just have some problems going on. My question is you see my daughter Lily ultimately ending up with me or my mother?
Try to put that in a little bit of context for me. When you say ultimately being with you or your mother, first
Yes,
of all,
like
is either one of those options okay with you? Number two, are we talking about a young daughter, or are we talking about, an older child, or what are we talking about here?
yes, I'm okay with it being either me or my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And my daughter is a baby, an infant.
Okay. So you say with you
And
or your mom, where's the infant now?
she's she was in the NICU. There was a foster parent involved in some legal matters, so I was just trying to not bring up legal stuff.
No, that's okay. You can
Just
bring
because
up
I
legal
know
stuff,
some
but
readers don't do that.
yeah, but I'm not going to read on, as far as legal advice. I'm not going to read on the legal, but knowing that is context. I'm not a psychic. I'm not one of those people, even though it's called Psychic Cafe.
Yeah.
All the other people are psychics, on Psychic Cafe. Not me. I'm a tarot reader. I'm a life coach. Completely different thing.
Okay.
It's like you go to your doctor
Well, I'll put it this
and you
way.
got to tell your doctor what the symptoms are in order for him to help you. So I don't know anything about your life. I don't know anything about
Yeah.
the situation.
Okay. Well, I'll put it this way in a nutshell. As a juvenile, I got into some trouble and serious trouble, and as an adult, I've been working hard to be a better person for many years. So all these things happened when I was 13. I'm now 38, and I just want to raise my daughter, but I'm dealing with CPS. I'm dealing with
Yep.
a judge that wants to take away my parental rights tomorrow, and we're fighting it. So
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if Lily will ultimately end up with me or my mom.
Well, there's what I'm getting in the cards. There's a good possibility that, well, she might end up with mom. But it's less likely than her ending up with you. Um, and with mom, the Emperor card shows up, and I don't know if that's referring to the father, if the father's in the picture, or it could be the powers that be, it could be indicating the judge or something else like that. But for you, there's much better cards. There's the death card, which suggests one door closes, another door opens. It's a shift about to happen where things it's a big change. It's one door closing, another door opening. It's very positive. People see the death card and they go, "Oh my God, death." That's not what it means. It just means that you're in a transitionary period. Okay. And then the other card that showed up was the star card, the card of hope, literally. So you got to hold on to the hope and focus on that. And
Yes.
and the Queen of Swords. You're showing up as the Queen of Swords. You got to be thoughtful and analytical about this, not let the emotions come into play, especially in court. Okay, so you need to be really analytical about this, and use the mind versus the heart in this situation, even though it's obviously the kind of situation where you would want to, or you're going to be drawn to your emotions and everything like that, and that actually can
Yeah.
really, that actually can hurt you more than help you. All right, that's why the Queen of Swords is showing up, but the main thing is the star card focusing on that. And it's a card of hope, but it's oh, I'm trying to think of it's the optimism is what you have to focus on. Remain optimistic, remain positive. Because I pull cards for, the mom possibility as well as you, and the cards really look better for you getting your daughter, to be honest. So that's what's
Okay.
showing up right now. We'll see what happens. Hope that helps you out, though.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good luck with that tomorrow and everything. And I hope it all goes your way. Okay, let's go back over to the chat here. Michelle says, I have a collection. However, I have my favorites I use online, and one's for in person, and one's just for myself. Yeah, that's the way a lot of people do things too. Let's see. We did Kelly's. I remember that. And then Ashley had come in. What's Ashley saying here? Oh, that's Adithya came back as well. Welcome back. I thought that was Ashley asking twice, but no, it's Adithya. It's like a gray color. This one's green. Why did Jay pull back his communication? And do you see reconciliation? Oh, hmm. Okay, so he's going off that way. Ace of Sword. Oh, that possibly. I'm not sure about this. See, the thing that's going on with him is it seems to be unrelated, because it's the King of Wands following some passion of his and mentoring with someone else, or taking time away oneself. That's the Hermit card. It's about, either seeking advice of a mentor or yourself, mentoring with oneself and pulling back from everybody in order to have alone time. So that seems to be what's going on. I would lean towards that. Now, is there a possibility for um reconciliation? Yeah, the Ace of Swords shows up. There's a possibility at some point. In fact, the Justice card shows up, that you can have justice regardless of which way it goes. And then the King of Cups is emotional stability, and not, again, kind of like what I just said with our last caller. It's not about, it's about not being swayed by the emotions, and having emotional stability here, um in the situation. Anyway, so those are the cards that came up. Adithya is wanting to do a general. Oh, actually, it said I know he has school coming up and has been working overtime a lot. Yeah, that'll pull you away too. Same thing. Okay, so we'll come back. Aditya, we'll come back to yours. We're gonna go to the phone lines. Who's been waiting the longest? 434, is it?
Hello.
Hey, what's your name? Where you call from?
My name's Khalil. I'm calling from Charlottesville, Virginia.
Hey, Cleo, what's new?
I'm hoping that I get to go to this little thing at in was it Ashland, Virginia? It's the Bikers Against Child Abuse thing. It's a meeting that they hope open to the public, and Charlottesville doesn't have one in our town.
Mm-hmm.
They have them in surrounding parts of Virginia, and basically, I'm hoping to meet some people, make some good statements, give them something to think about, and also I'm hoping to see
Yeah.
some of the motorcycles and stuff. And it's going to be next Saturday if I go. Do you see it working out and I'm going? Because it's a little closer than Richmond.
Yep. It's looking good. In fact, two of the S cards are major arcana cards. One of them is one of the cards for the day that I got, the Chariot, which is literally victory and moving forward with this. Okay. Now, the Moon card shows up to say it's not all clear. We don't have like all the details on this and everything, but still, the Moon card, it's a major arcana card. It's a big fat yes. I'm feeling really good about this. This Queen of Cups comes in. So there might be somebody, this might be somebody that I don't know, helps you with this or the arrangements or something. Okay. But there is this person showing up, this Queen of Cups showing up. And uh cups, could be talking about using your own personal intuition, but if it's a person, cups is usually it's water, it's usually like Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, something like that. Anyway, it's just interesting that this showed up. There's like somebody that can help you with this here. But yeah, like I said, the Moon card, it's not 100% clear, but the Chariot card is the first card I pulled, and it's like, yeah, that's a big fat yes on that one. I hope that helped you out, Cleo.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now you gotta report back and let us know what happens. A lot of my friends,
definitely.
yeah, have a great night. A lot of my friends, are members of the riders at my American Legion posts, and they do a lot of these kind of events and charity events, which interesting chariot card, chariot. Anyway, uh, yeah, they do a lot of these, and they make geez, they raise so much money to help veterans. Um, his cause obviously different thing, but same idea. Same idea. Okay, what was I gonna say? Don't forget about the sizzling summer sale. And if you want a private session with me, that's the way to go. Okay. Let me pop that back up here. Psychic.cafe/summer. If you go to this page, psychic.cafe/summer, scroll down towards the bottom, you can book a session with me for half price. It's like literally $49. It's half price, normally $99.99. So, if you need coaching with your psychic or tarot business, get some direction. That's what I specialize actually working with I'll take any question, but that's one of the things that I like doing and helping people with is their business, so business coaching, success coaching, life coaching, but it could be readings about anything really. Go over, and that's where to book it because it's on sale over there, instead of going to my page. Usually I send you to my page. Okay. Let me check and see if there was a question in the chat here. I know Kat had thrown in something. Okay, and she asked about recommending a deck for mediumship. I do not have a recommendation for a deck for mediumship. I've just used an ordinary Waite Smith deck, and I've had um people from on the other side of the veil come through, and I'm not a medium, but I've actually had it happen. You know who might Michelle, if Michelle's still in there, she'll be on with me on Wednesday if she's not still in the chat listening. But she would be a better person to ask about because she's got a gadzillion decks. Also, Ellie, who's going to be here Thursday, at least she should be, unless something comes up. Like last week, something came up and we had to cancel. But hopefully she'll be here. Oh, Sean came in. Hi, Sean. Sorry I missed you. Um, Ellie has a lot of decks, and Michelle has a lot of decks. So ask them both their recommendation on Wednesday and on Thursday what their recommendation is as far as a mediumship deck. There was another question though, and I know I missed it. Gosh, it was about, I think it was from Kat. Okay. I can't find it, but there's a message retracted. Kat, did you pull it out? She might have pulled that question out, but she did have another one down here. So I'll go to that one. Do you cleanse your deck before you pull? I have a ritual, knocking and cleansing, then blessing and asking for benevolent guide, then focus on the question, and you have a ritual before pulling. Yeah. And so I used to have a ritual. I used to have lots of rituals. I've tried out different rituals. A lot of my friends have rituals. We did whole workshops on creating sacred space and rituals and setting things up for readings and everything like that. Now, I think all that's great because it sets the tone. It's a demarcation for the subconscious mind. Oh, okay, I'm pulling away from everyday time when I'm playing on my phone and or working or doing this with the kids or and I am now doing a reading. Okay, it it helps you put your focus on what you're doing. I prefer, you know I think any kind of ritual that you can do that is going to get you focused and demarcate, which, like, there's physical parts to it too, like lighting candles and all the things and putting out the crystals or whatever things you do. Um uh Doing the four corners, like if you're Wiccan, um, whatever it is you do, you're creating sacred space, and you're again, you're shifting from everyday to now I'm in my reading space, sacred. This is sacred. Okay. However you can do that works fine. For clearing decks, I don't clear decks. I do the knocking, but the way I clear a deck, I don't do any of the fancy rituals or fancy things. I shuffle the deck, shuffle it. And I'm a numerologist, so I do things 9 times. I do 3 overhanded shuffles, right? I do 3 rifle shuffles, you know, Las Vegas style. And then I do 3, where I'm cutting it into piles and putting mixing those piles up. So I do 3, 3, and 3, and that breaks up the energy. If you even believe in that, a lot of people, but but if you believe in that, you should do it. And because it's what you believe, right, is what happens. So then, I put the deck down on the desk, 3 knocks, and that's all I do. I don't do any fancy rituals or anything like that. I don't create sacred space anymore. And the reason why is, and by the way, I did a workshop on this. I don't know if it's still up on the site or not, but if not, we'll do a new workshop on this, where I help people create an anchor with NLP for sacred space and for that shift I was talking about in, from everyday mode into I'm in master reader mode. And we set up, on one of your knuckles, or it could be a lot of people like the wrist, and you just fire the anchor or fire the anchor. And that takes you right into, of course, you're sitting where you're going to do the reading, and you've set up your computer because you're doing a teleconference reading, let's say, and then you fire off the anchor, and you right before you call them or they call you. So that's what I do as far as, all that kind of thing. Ritual, setting up sacred space, cleansing the deck. No, I don't really, I don't do the crystal. I don't put the crystal on it and put it out under the moon and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I mean, if I want to clear it, you guys might see me on the show going like this a couple times, 2, 3 times. That's what I'm doing. And I just like doing it that way because I like things fast, I don't got time often to put candles out and stones and have everything, and light the candles and do the ritual and just like, and all the I need to sit down, fire off the anchor, boom, I'm in reading mood. There you go. But you do it the way works for you. That's what I tell everybody. I'm doing it, Dax. I'll be in touch. Awesome. Okay. Uh, and she said that makes sense. Are you a 9? No, I'm a 6. Actually, I'm not even a 6, really. I'm a 33-6, but uh, I'm a master healer, master teacher, life path. That's 33. Okay. And then Adithya, that was the one I was looking for also, which was general reading about my recent future. Well, there's recent past, but not recent future. So maybe you're talking about upcoming, soon to be your recent past, which is your upcoming, soon to be future. Near future is what we, oh my God, I'm getting those same cards. That's very strange. Wow. I'm getting the same cards that I got for somebody earlier. You guys remember this? Remember I had the temperance card? Yeah, this is a marrying of opposites. It's also called the alchemy card, transmuting gold. Remember that? But it's really about the Temprian path, which is takes way too long to explain, but it's the middle path between two extremes. And this is talking about balance. I guess the easiest way to think of it is think of balance. It's talking about Adithya, you need more balance. And then that same 6 of Pentacles came up. Okay. And I don't know if it's talking about you receiving a windfall or if you are helping other people out to measure, see the scales, measure your what you're giving out, you got to be balanced about it, not just, throwing money away kind of thing. Now, helping people out doesn't have to be financial. Okay. So this may be saying that find other ways that you can help other people. So that may be. Okay. Hope that helped you out. A little message, Adithya. It's not really, it's, nothing really came up as far as a happenstance in the future. That was more generally, and I keep saying, the tarot is going to tell you what you need to know now, not necessarily what you asked. So I hope that helped you out. And you can come back on Wednesday if you want to ask for a more future thing. Michelle can pull cards. And let's see. You're gonna go back. Oh, I want to mention, so many people on the phone lines and all these questions. And maybe not for tonight because we're gonna end the show now. Pretty soon anyway. But I wanna mention to you guys about here. Let me see if I can pull that up again here. Um, the coffee page again, psychic.cafe/coffee. Like tonight, we had like, oh my God, like 15 people in the caller queue. I don't know how many we're going to end up getting to, but um, if you want to make sure that I take your call or whoever's doing the show and make sure that you're taken right away and there's no waiting. Whatever we're doing, if we're teaching something or talking about something or whatever, we drop whatever we're doing, we go right to your call or your question in chat. That's the secret. Okay. So if I don't get to your call tonight, you can call in on Wednesday, same time, same phone number, 714-816-4628. That's why you should write that down. 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, US. And Michelle will be with me. Or you can call in on Thursday when Ellie's going to be here. And what you can do right now, though, is you can go over to psychic.cafe/coffee, grab me a cup of coffee, and then pop in the chat room on Wednesday or Thursday and say, hey, this is so and so, and I bought you a cup of coffee. And guess what? We're going to take your question, or if you're calling in, we'll take your call first. No waiting. Okay. So if we don't get to you tonight, that's how you set yourself up for the next show, which I said is Wednesday. Okay. All right. So don't tell me that, I didn't get to you and you didn't know, and don't tell me that because I've told you multiple times now on the show. That's how you do it. Yes. You go to the coffee page. It's very simple. I'm going to put that back in the chat here so people can get themselves set up for the Wednesday show. Okay. Going back to the chat. All right. I'm going to go back there in a minute. I'm going to go over to the phone line. 773 was waiting the longest. Hello, area code 773. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Elizabeth. I'm calling from Chicago.
Chicago. Yeah. How you doing?
Okay.
Awesome. What's your question?
Um, I just recently lost my cat.
You lost what? Say that
uh,
again.
just
I'm
my
having trouble
my
hearing you.
cat, my pet.
Cat?
Oh, my pet.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was veterinary negligence, and I don't think it was his time to go. They just did something they shouldn't have done. And I'm having a hard time with it, and I'm wondering if I'm going to win in court against him.
Oh.
Yeah, it's bad.
Okay. Hang on a second here. My cards are not cooperating, so I'm gonna do some shuffling here and try to, like we were just talking about, breaking up the energy there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, it's not doing so good. So I'm gonna take a look at that. Yeah, that's a real shame though, because I mean, a lot of times it is their time to go, or we don't even know it's their time to go, and then veterinarian tells you it's their time to go. More often than not, them doing something negligent is so rare. So it's so sad when that
Yeah.
happens, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, they tried to talk me out of taking him somewhere else to get specialist imaging, and I did
Mhm.
and found out that he got stabbed in the skull during a procedure they did.
Yeah, too bad Charlotte couldn't make it tonight because she's the animal lady and she might have been able to work on that and
Oh,
maybe even got a message through some, because sometimes they come right through to her from the other side. I would say, hey, if you can think about it, call next Monday. If you're, if you can think about it and
yeah.
figure around and stuff, if you have the time, because Charlotte will probably be back next Monday. And for you and for everybody out there, let me pop up her URL for everybody. It's psychic.cafe/Charlotte, and mine's right under that /Dax. Anybody
Mm-hmm.
that wants any mediumship, um, animal communication, guess what? She's doing it free right now. You can just go get it, book a session with her, no cost at all.
Mm-hmm.
And what you do, folks, is you just go to Charlotte's page, psychic.cafe/Charlotte, and you'll see a little message button. Now you have to be signed in. So, yes, you have to join the website. It's like joining Facebook, not a big deal. It's free. And when you go to her page, psychic.cafe/Charlotte, you'll see an icon there that's an envelope. It says chat with Charlotte or chat or something. It's the chat button. But if she's not on right
Mm-hmm.
then, it becomes a private message. And then say, hey, Dax said on the radio show last night that or the YouTube live or however you want to look at it, that you're doing animal communication sessions. And then you can book one with her. Okay, and we'll take a look, see what's coming up on this. Yes, yes, yes. No. Yes. Okay. Looks like you're in a really, really great position there, Elizabeth. And
Mm-hmm.
I got 4 yeses out of 5. So it's a strong yes. The central focus card is the sun. Literally, oh, let me take down that URL off the camera for everybody watching. Yeah, you can't get a better card than this. It's just like really, really good. Really, 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 really,
Oh
really.
wow.
The 9 of Pentacles, she's holding the bird there. It's a pet. This is and then the goose is there. This is a card with pets in it, is what I'm getting at here. Um,
Oh.
it's saying the strength card is saying which is 8, which is a yes, but it's also a major arcana card, and 8 is abundance in numerology, and strength is that inner strength to persevere and move forward. It seems like there might be a decision, like the 2 of swords is showing up. Swords are thoughts and ideas, and she has her arms crossed, the swords are crossed. It's and she's got blindfold on, so it's like either being unwilling or unable to make a decision. And so it's like 2 different thoughts that are at cross purposes. And I of course,
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what that is, but you may. So give that some thought,
It,
because there seems like there's something you need to make a decision to go this way or to go that way with the court case, or I don't know what it is, something like that. But
yeah.
lastly, look what I got. Literally, the justice card shows up. And when the justice card
Really?
shows up, not always, but more than often, when the justice card shows up, it's saying that justice will be done. So
Wow.
can't get
Wow.
better than that.
That's
So
awesome. This is
I
the
hope
hardest
that
thing I've ever had to deal with.
right, right. Yeah, I hope that helped you out. And like I said, try to, I would try to message Charlotte, but also if you just want to call in, she should be back next Monday's show. And maybe we can get some animal
Okay.
communication going
Well,
on too. That'd be really cool.
great. Yeah,
Alrighty.
thank you.
Thanks for the call, Liz. Alrighty. And then I wanted to, because I saw the Wax and Lax came in. That's an interesting name. And see if anybody else came in. I want to see if they had a question. Oh, it's a cheating question. Is Dean cheating on me? And then Michelle said, yes, definitely. She will be here Wednesday. So remember, no show tomorrow. We take Tuesdays off, but we're here all week long, Normally there's a show on Friday. Sorry, not Charlotte. Catherine's show, which is on hiatus right now, Compassionate Light, but it'll be back in the fall. We have shows, Saturdays, we have shows Sundays, plus our, Q&A coming up this Sunday instead of a show, and shows Mondays and Wednesdays and Thursdays. Doo-doo-doo. I just want to know if my lady is cheating on me. Oh, so Dean's not a Dean. It's like Deanne. Oh, interesting. Now we call that psychic peeping Toming. And a lot of readers do not answer those kind of questions, even though that's a typical thing. Yeah, you go to a fortune teller, is she cheating on me? Is he cheating on me? But I'm talking about modern psychic advisors and tarot readers. Yeah, if you go on California Psychics, but a lot of new, the up and coming crop and all, we're life coaches. We want to help you with your situation. And so we don't usually do any of the psychic peeping Toming. Like, how does he feel about me? Does he really love me? Is he cheating on me? But that said, I'm curious. I'm gonna pull cards and see what comes up anyway. We're gonna just pull this up and oh, not too sure on this. Okay. Let's see. Is that a yes? Maybe. Okay, so I'm getting 3 yeses out of 5. So what that's telling me is wax and wax, that is a possibly yes, but it could go either way. It may or may not be true. And I'm not exactly sure why it's not giving a strong like yes or a strong no, but it is leaning that way. And um what's interesting to me is getting cards like this. The Tower card. Bum 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 bum. And the 5 of Swords. Yeah, the aftermath of a battle. This is not looking too good. I'm just gonna say that. Okay. I usually don't like to do this kind of thing, but because this is all for fun on the radio, these are just little mini readings. This is not like, you know, um, you booked a session, and I'm spending 40 minutes with you or something. It's just for fun. So yeah, not great. Not great. And the Judgment card. That's literally the cosmic wake up call. It's literally like, hello. That's all I'm going to say. You do what you need to do. Yes, yes. And then what's Cat? What are you saying? I got to move up the chat because I can't see it. Cheating is hard to define. Emotional cheating, flirting, hiding stuff, not just physical. Is that why it's hard to read? Yes, that is a big part of it. Okay. When I get an unclear message, when I get 3 yeses or 3 nos, 2 nos or 2 yeses, 2 nos, anything less than 4 yeses, 4 nos, 5 yeses, 5 nos, anything less than that in the 3s or 2s, that tells me it could go either way. It's leaning a certain way, and I always tell you what that is, but that doesn't mean anything. It could totally go the opposite way because you're going to be making decisions moving forward, and it could take you in a different direction, and there's something left to be done usually when I get a reading like that. Now in this particular situation, what Kat's saying is perfect, great example of the other reason I may get an unclear yes no, and that's because the definition. What are we really talking about? Is real flirting going on? Is real physical cheating going on, or is it cheating in the mind? Is it hiding stuff so you don't really know? That's probably what it is. That's probably why it's unclear, is because the whole situation's just not clear. And it's I throw this stuff back in the client's face always. Look, don't ask me how they feel about you or if they're going to call you or any of these kind of questions. Go call them on the phone or talk to them in person and ask them. That's the best thing. That's the best way, right? Ask them. Linda just came in. Oh, hi. So am I getting anything on? Okay, so she's a Leo and then another Leo. Ooh, let's see what's coming up here. Oh, this is looking really good though. Okay. Even though you're Leos, which, that would the fire signs would, typically show up as wands, and I do get a 4 of Wands, but he's showing up actually as the Knight of Cups. So I don't know, is he artistic or romantic or something like that? That seems to be an indicator that's talking about him. The Horned One shows up, which is the Devil card. This is what we're attached to. The only thing that could hold you back here is potentially like, baggage from the past might be holding you back. Okay. But the card in the middle, the central focus card, again, it's that 4 of Wands. And Wands is the fire energy. It's Aries. It's Leo. Yes. This is looking really good because what is the 4 of Wands? It's structure. And more importantly, typically, one of the meanings is some kind of celebration, often a wedding reception or something. Yes. So there you go, Lena. Looks good. We don't talk very much, just looks. Yeah, well, you got to get that communication going, don't you? I'm actually kind of surprised because two Leos, you know, usually they jump right in it as far as discussion. But work on that. Work on that. That says, Dax, you are amazing. So grateful for your soul and generosity. Yes, well, that's what we're here for, to give back to everybody, you know, and you can give back to us, like I said, coffee page, psychic.cafe/coffee. You can book a session with me. You can join the guild, a lot of ways to pay us back. And maybe not, maybe for a great reading that you had, or little mini reading here on the show, or even if it's not for you, maybe it's you love what we're giving back to everybody else. Send us a cup of coffee. Yeah. But a great way is to join the guild, be an ongoing contributor, and like I said, it's half price right now, $39 for the year. You don't have to be a professional reader or psychic advisor to join the guild. Also, it's called the Tarot Guild, but it's open to all psychics, any kind of psychic advisor, any spiritual entrepreneur. But we started as tarot. We started as the Tarot Guild. And we don't want to change the name because we've been doing this for 20 years. 20 years. Yes. You don't have to join just because you're a professional. If you're not a professional, just that you're interested in this stuff, you can help us keep the lights on here at the new website, the new Whiz Bang website that we built for you all, with all the great features and everything like that. We also, do workshops and Q&As and panel discussions all year long for our paying members. So that's another reason to join. If you're not a professional, that you can still join. You don't have to be a professional to join the guild. And you get lots and lots of perks. But if you are a professional, yeah, come join the guild. We've been doing this for 20 years and get certified. You can get certified as a tarot reader, tarot professional, tarot master. We also have a grandmaster level. And then if you're not a tarot reader, we've created psychic advisor. So certified psychic advisor, or if you prefer something else like certified spiritual coach, anything like that, We're just going to do a practice session. I don't want to say practice, a test evaluation session, whatever your modality. You do the modality the way you want to do it. We will evaluate, was that a good reading? Was that a good session? Was that a good life coaching? Did I get something out of it? Did I get my questions answered? Did I get focus on my goal if it's coaching you do? We know how to evaluate that because we do all those modalities. So any modality you can get certified. And again, certification's half price right now, $69 as well. So come over and check us out. Join the cafe free, psychic.cafe. And by the way, you'll see the sale sign in multiple places. It's pinned to the top of the main page. It's also in the right hand side at the top on desktop view. On phones, just scroll down and you'll see that banner. Click on that banner. Yep. So I got to get out of here. I don't have time for more calls or questions. I'm sorry. In fact, I wasn't supposed to go this long. I'm nearly an hour over, but I was having too much fun. Yeah. And I love hanging out with you guys and helping you. But hey, we do shows all week. We're going to be back on Wednesday. It's going to be me and Michelle. So tune in then. Ellie on Thursday. I'll see you then. Bye, everybody.